Hey guys, welcome back to another WoW Weekly with Myst, and it has been a bit since we have done one of these videos. I was out of town for a couple of weeks, and then when I returned back home, it was a Sunday and in the evening, so yeah, I just didn't feel like quickly putting together a WoW Weekly video that last minute. So here we are. There is lots of news and lots of events going on, so let's get into it. Okay, so for the retail version of World of Warcraft, for this week, we have Battlegrounds will be the weekly, the PvP Brawl, and there is also the 15th anniversary event that is going on still, and it will go on till January 7th. So you are going to be hearing me mention that in the weekly WoW for a while, just because it's going to be the weekly event for quite a while. And this video here is actually me doing some of the event. This is the PvP event here. And also there will be the Pilgrim Bounty starting up. That will start up on Monday, November 25th. And it will go till December 2nd. Now for the Pilgrim Bounty, I could have easily just left that till next week to let you guys know, because the next video would post on the day that one starts. But I thought I'd just give you a little heads up because it will already be running for a few hours before the video posts. I will go more in detail about the achievements and all that in next week's WoW Weekly. As for goals, I'm just going to kind of relax this week with goals. So there's going to be no goals this week. I've got a lot of editing to do, and I just don't want to have any serious goals. And to be honest, I kind of completed a goal pretty fast here. That would have been doing the anniversary event. And yeah, I did, awesomely this week for that, because literally I just got home, got home on Sunday. On Tuesday, no, was it Tuesday? No, Tuesday was Mount Runs that I streamed. So Wednesday we streamed the, Wednesday was time walking. So I did the time walking event on Wednesday, and then on Friday we streamed the event that gets you the obsidian mount. So I got the obsidian mount, and then just yesterday I finished the PvP event one, which got me that mount. Actually, I did really good mount wise, because then also I was really close to my honor level 15, which rewards you the prestigious mount. I can't remember which one, so I'm just gonna say prestigious. And yeah, so I ended up getting 3 mounts just kind of by doing the anniversary event, except the, just so I don't confuse anyone here, prestigious doesn't come from the anniversary. I just happened to be close to hitting 15 and knocked it out, as well as my rep. I was already pretty close to my rep, and I ended up knocking out my exalted with the storm pike. So yeah, that was it was really a great comeback week for me. I accomplished quite a bit within a few days. So yeah, and I think that's really how it's gonna go for a while. I feel so blah in WoW lately, and like I still play and all that, but I just don't want to do any goals anymore, I don't think. So you know, that doesn't mean that I won't share cool things that happen, though. I'm just not going to have any serious goals. That way I can focus on my editing without worrying about having to complete goals for the next WoW Weekly video. And, yeah. As for, like, some personal, not really goals, but things I will be doing is I will be stepping back into Classic next week. I want to do a day or two before the Diablo season starts, because I've decided that I want to do the Diablo season. So we're gonna kind of break from WoW a bit on this coming up weekend, and we're gonna do some D3. So yeah. Anyway, let's not blab too much. Let's get over to the news section. Okay, so since we are kind of on the topic of the anniversary, let's cover some anniversary stuff for you guys. So when you first log in, if you haven't already, you will get the achievement, WoW's 15th anniversary. You'll also get a gift pack, which gives you quite a bit of stuff. You will get 200 Time Warp badges from it. Also, you'll get some fireworks. You will get the celebration package, which increases your rep and experience by 15%. Really great for leveling alts if you choose to do so, or if you're still going after rep. And the difference they did with the celebration package is it doesn't expire. So or I won't say it doesn't expire, but you don't have to keep applying it. The ones in the past, you had to apply it every hour. This one is just there until the event ends. So that's kind of nice. It just stays there. And then you will also get a quest called A Timely Invitation. That is to lead you to the whole, event for the Obsidian. And also, I saved the best for last as far as what comes in that package, or your little anniversary gift, and that is Lil Nefarian. So you will get Lil Nefarian as a pet in your mail. Okay, so for the raid, and on the topic of the raid and the PvP stuff, since I am done now, I recorded it all. The raid was done in stream, so I'm gonna take that from stream and I will make a YouTube video for that, and I will post it the days after this video goes live. So this video will go live on Monday. On Tuesday, I'll post the raid. Wednesday, I'll post the PvP. And yeah, so if you are interested in more detail, or you just learn better by visually watching it get done, then I will have that all for you. So for the raid part, basically you go out to the Caverns of Time. That's where it's all done. There's some dailies you can do for some Time Warp badges. You will need to be item level 380 in order to participate in it, and it is for the achievement Memories of Felfrost and Fire. Basically what happens is you get into a group and you will queue up kind of like an LFR ordeal, and you will go into each of the individual wings. So there will be Burning Crusade, which will be Kel'Thuz, Lady Vash, and Archimonde. You can get Ashes of Alar from this. So if you wanted to keep doing it, since the event runs till January 7th, you can keep doing it, and you will technically have 2 chances of Ashes of Alar, because you will have your 1 chance from doing this event, and then you can also go solo it yourself in the regular raid mode. There's also the Wrath of the Lich King, and that's Hagen and Nubarek and Lich King. You can get the Invincible mount. So once again, 2 tries at that one as well. There's also the Cataclysm part, which is Cho'Gall, Nefarian, and Rag. And yes, once again, you can get a mount from there, which is the Smoldering Egg. It turns into the Firehawk. And that will give you 2 tries for that week as well. So if you don't have the Firehawk, Invincible, and Ashes of Alar, this is a great place. And if you're like me and did already have those, there is also Infinite Time Reaver. Okay, now for the Alterac Valley of Old. This is Korak's Revenge. It is the Alterac Valley Battleground. It will be in your Battleground selection in your queue. It'll say Korak's Revenge right on it, so you'll know. And basically, how you do this one is you have to collect 200 Time Warp badges in the Battleground through quest hand-ins, right? And this one isn't as bad as people make it out to be. You know, before I'd started it, people were like, oh, it takes so long. It's like 20 plus hours. And I did mine in like 5 hours total, and I was done. I streamed it for the first 3 hours, and then I finished it off outside of stream yesterday. So it's really not that bad. Basically, you have your quests out in your area there. There's one to talk to the guy. He actually gives you 10. And, you know, I'm doing this alliance-wise, so things might be a little different. The quest might be a little different for Horde. But, yeah, there's one to talk to the guy, gives you 10. There is some Taming Ram quests. You can do it quite a few times, so that will equal... I didn't count how many times till they stopped me. But it was definitely more than 5, but I think less than 10. So somewhere between there. And then there's an easy one in the mines, because you can knock out 2. You capture the mines for 10 points or 10 badges. And then you can also go collect 10 of the currency out there. And also, aside from all the quests you can do, you will get rewarded 10 on completion of the battleground, so you're going to want to hope for some quick ones. Sometimes they can go pretty long. Okay, so that is basically it. So you just keep queuing back and forth, and just do those dailies, and yeah, you're good to go. There's also some very cool things out in the Caverns of Time. And one that I really enjoyed doing was the soccer. There was a game of soccer there. And yeah, it was quite fun. It was quite fun. It's called Khadgar ball soccer because Khadgar's face is on the soccer ball. But I thought that was really good. There's also the Scarab Gong, which is exactly as it sounds. No mount, but the gong is there. Leroy Jenkins, he's actually out there selling some fried chicken. So another cool one. Also, the Elite Tauren band there, they play out there. So that also was cool. And then there's vendors out there. There is, next to Chromie is one called Persnip Good Up. And that one sells balloons and a sharpened pin. The pin is to pop balloons that are near you. And then the waiter, who's walking near the portal of the Chrono Crystals, which is also another cool area for you to see the memories of, a bunch of different things. But he sells a few things that I had a lot of fun with on stream. I was fiddling around with his items for quite a while. So there is the Spellstone Delight, which increases your run speed by 100%. There's no cooldown on it, but you can't use it in instances. So the Sugary Soul Shard, it makes your character purple. And that one was really cool because I'm a druid, so of course I tested it in all my different forms. So I got to see my owl flight be purple and my cat be purple and my bear, and yeah, so I had a lot of fun with that one. And then the Ukra Dukra Elixir turns you into a skeleton monkey. Also out there is a guy that sells you some stuff that actually existed in the game before, but you can't buy them, I don't believe anyway. So they were limited items that are now available through the anniversary event. So if you don't have the items, I would highly suggest. One is the Corgi Pup. I love the Corgi Pup, so I would highly suggest it. And then there's also the goggles, which I love even more than the pet itself. Basically, what the goggles do is they let you see everyone as a pup. And then the inflatable Thunder Fury and the costume set Edwin Van Cleef, those were actually limited time items that I did a video on way few years ago. And basically it was a time in the game where if you logged in during that time, you got the items. It was a promotion for the Warcraft movie, basically. So yeah, that was cool to see that they're reselling that. There's some celebration wands. There's some bronze tinted sunglasses for your cosmetic set, and also the Tranquil Mechanic Yeti costume. And that is that. I think I've talked enough regarding the anniversary event. Let's move on to some other stuff. So in the 8.3 patch, there's been some new updates. One of them has to do with the Dark Moon Fair. So in 8.3, there will be a console, like an arcade console you can interact with, and you will be able to play 6 of the games. These 6 games we know from World Quests, basically. So there is the Hex Sweeper. So the Hex Sweeper, you basically walk on top of squares to reveal, and you can mark hidden mines, and yeah, that's basically it. There's a couple of difficulty levels for that one. Rune matching, you may notice this. Well, there is the Nazjatar World Quests you may notice it from, or, Bejeweled is what it gets referenced to all the time. And so I don't think I need to go into detail for that one. Bully is a world quest in Nazjatar. However, if you are a engineer, I believe it was, yes, engineer. I did this same thing in Legion with an engineer toy where you had to complete like 20 levels, so you may recognize it from that as well. Barrels of Fun, you may recognize from Legion. It was one of the world quests out there. Remembery, we all know what this is from. This is from the Turtle quest. And very easy little game. Only one level, or like one, difficulty level, I guess. And Totemic Matrix. This one was from Legion for the shamans. And basically you just click a totem to change its color. And your goal is to like have all the totems go to blue. And yeah, and then when you complete a level, it just unlocks the next level. So that is that. That will be coming in 8.3. 6, cute little games, little short mini games. Also, another thing that was found on the PTR recently that you guys may be wondering is, are we getting a ahead of the curve mount like we have at the end, like in the last raid at the end of the expansion for the past, was it been 3 or 4 expansions now? And the answer is yes. It will be from the Nyalotha raid, which is the final raid that will release in 8.3. And this is the mount right here. I personally am quite disappointed in this mount. This mount looks so, I don't know, close to other mounts that I was just kind of hoping for something a little different. Plus, they're more or less using the same colors as last expansion. Yeah, maybe a different tint, kinda, but it would have been nice to be a total different color, because we had kind of the purple blue going on last, last expansion. So I personally am not too happy with it. Also, I've taken a look at the Heart of Azeroth for 8.3, and this is what it looks like. So it's looking like 85 will be the max. At 75, you will unlock your 4th essence. And that is the purity of the world soul. And it increases corruption resistance. So basically how this is going to go as far as like your level progression here. 71 is going to be your 3% stamina. Then 75 is your minor essence slot. 80 is another stamina increase by 3%, and then 85 will be your increased corruption resistance by 1. Now here is where things get wonky. In this picture, you can see that 85 slot has a 4 on it. Yeah, I'm under the assumption that when you hit 85, then it's a grind. You put points into that last one. Like I said, it just increases your corruption resistance by 1, which doesn't sound like a whole lot. So yeah, I imagine you are grinding the fuck out of that to get your corruption resistance as high as you possibly can get it. So yeah, expect an AP grind of some sort. Also, some items that Wrathion sells in the new patch Vessel of Horrific Visions lets you enter the Horrific Vision, which I do have a video on if you want to check that out. And Gouged Eye of Enzoth is a consumable. You can add it to a socketed item. The use on it says twist Latin corruption into a socket on equipment that does not already have a socket. So yeah. And then the third one there is the Wicked Swarmer, which is this mount right here. It is a flying mount and it costs 100,000. So yeah, your first one will cost 1,000, second 25,000, and then 100,000. Now there is tons of new items, and I will definitely be doing separate videos for those, and also I will be adding them into the 8.3 video that I do that we won't see till January, because that is really when we're gonna see 8.3. But there is one little new thing I thought you would like to see, because we will see it before we see 8.3 patch. It is in the 8.3, but because it's Christmassy, we'll see it sooner. And that's this. This is a new Pepe disguise, tiny winter hat. And it looks pretty cute. So there's that to go after when the Christmas event shows up anyway. Okay, and the last thing I have for you guys is just some Shadowland info. So there is the base edition you can buy that is $40. Just the game is in there. There is the Heroic Edition for $60. It gives you the base game, a 120 character boost, your flying mount, and the internal Traveler Transmog set, which, by the way, doesn't really just give you that set. You gotta actually work for it after you unlock it. And then the Epic Edition is all that, as well as 30 days of game time and a pet that matches the mount. And the Hearthstone, and also an Illusion Wraith Chill. At the moment, they haven't mentioned anything about a collector's edition, so unsure, but I'm sure down the road they will mention something. And for those that are unsure about the lore, I just thought I'd read what they say. Sylvanas Windrunner, fallen leader of the Horde, has pierced the veil between Azeroth and the realm of the dead, setting in motion a series of events that threatens to upset the cosmic balance between life and death. In recent years, the machine of death is broken, and souls brought to the Shadowlands no longer go through the Arbiter, instead being sent straight to the Maw. As a result of this, the Maw and its jailer have grown far stronger. While the other domains of the Shadowlands are being deprived of anima, a fundamental resource in the Shadowlands. Sylvanas Windrunner has been working with the jailer for a long time to inflict as much death as they can, and with each death and soul sent to the Maw, her and the jailer grow stronger. Many innocent souls, including the thousands of civilians killed during the War of Thorns, are now languishing in torment in the Maw. As adventurers arrive in the Shadowlands, they too will be sent straight to the Maw. But their innate connection to Azeroth will save them from an eternity of torment within the Maw. However, some of their allies will be left behind. While the adventurers are tasked with exploring the Shadowlands to understand the realm of the dead and hopefully becoming strong enough to return to the Maw and save their allies. So that is basically the lore there for Shadowlands. Very, very nil. I would say that doesn't tell us a whole lot, but it gives us like a basic understanding. So there's going to be many character customization, and there'll be a level squish. The level squish is the very first one in WoW history. A lot of people are excited about it. I have my doubts, and I guess we will just see how it goes. I have my doubts because I don't think what they're telling us is a level squish is what we're thinking a level squish is. I think us, the fans, and Blizzard have a different version of this level squish. And, yeah, I think the people that are hyped for it are expecting that Blizzard is on their same level, and I just don't think that is the case. Yeah. Now, there are some interesting things making a return, which could be what is making people excited for the change. However, Blizzard, you could have made them return without a level squish, but here they are. So here's the list. Feel free to pause the video if you would like to look through the whole list. Some notable ones here are obviously the Paladin auras, the Rogue poisons, the Shaman totems, the Warlock's curses. But definitely feel free to pause and read through the entire list. There are a lot of things coming back, and a lot of things being applied back to all specializations, so it is a pretty cool function. I just think they could have done this without, creating a level squish. I just don't think they can pull off a level squish the proper way, but maybe they will shock us, just they haven't for years. Also, Demon Hunters and Death Knights will start at level 1 in Shadowlands. I also do believe that Classic is a big part of the level squish. I think with the success of Classic, they have taken those ideas, applied it to retail. I just don't know if it'll stick, if things stuck, we wouldn't be in the retail we're in to begin with, right? All it's gonna take is a few complaints and they'll take all this shit away. So yeah, I guess we'll see. We'll see where it leads us and if it even stays. Okay, and that's the basics of that. I'll put a more detailed video out separately for Shadowlands. And that basically concludes the Shadowlands portion of this video. So let's hop over to Classic. Okay, so for Classic news, Phase 2 is here. It did arrive on the 12th, but since I didn't do a WoW Weekly video that week, I just thought I'd remind you guys. Maybe we have some casual Classic players that watch this video. So basically it rolled out in 2 sections. On Tuesday the 12th, they decided to put all the realms into one layer. And then on Thursday the 14th, they rolled out the PvP honor system and the world bosses, which caused a bit of an issue. They claimed it to be a DDoS attack, but I personally believe that it wasn't a DDoS attack. I think they were just struggling with their servers by putting the PvP honor system on. I think it just, when you got people like, say, Asmongold streaming and bringing a bunch of people over to do PvP in one area, you're gonna crash, right? So it wasn't necessarily crashing servers, but it was causing a lot of lag. And And yeah, I only heard of it for that one to 2 days though, so it may be better now. I do still personally believe that it's a little early to have Phase 2 out, but whatever. I kind of get why they did it. People are mainly over there for PvP. You know, let's be honest. So, you know, I think they were probably worried that, you know, they were going to start losing some people. The people who are really serious about Classic, I don't think they would have lost them. Those people would have waited, you know, till whenever to get the PvP honor system. You know, as long as it's coming, they would have stayed. So, yeah, but I do believe that's why they rushed it. Also, with the Phase 2, originally it had been mentioned that the keyring would be available with Phase 2. It was not. I guess they just weren't ready to release it. I kind of figured something like a keyring would be one of the easiest things to just add back in, but I guess not. And they say it will be added later this year. We are in November, so realistically, I guess that means it'll be added probably in a month. Like later this year, there's not that much left of the year, so probably pretty soon we'll have the keyring. So with Phase 2 added, they did release a best in slot gear guide. For that, I'm not going to go over it, but I will link it in the description. So if you're interested in the best in slot for your character class and your character spec, just check it out in the description. It'll be there. And that concludes today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you're having fun in the anniversary event. Hope you're having fun in Classic. And we will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.